Today's selection is I Am Redeemed.
The oracles of the UCI. 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things have favorite love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua HaMashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as dear children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becomes saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather given of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth. Therefore, let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you, to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Which is peace on Yahweh's holy Sabbath day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Today we're going to deal with vows, covenants, and spiritual sacrifices. It eventually becomes apparent that there is a lack of understanding on some of the things and what they mean as far as what it is we're doing unto Yahweh. We know that natural sacrifices have been set aside, but those spiritual sacrifices are the things that we do in its place, and we have to make an attempt to make those things without spot and without blemish as much as possible. So that's something that we need to consider when we are doing the very works, and when we are making an attempt to keep those vows and covenants that we have made inside of the Word. We also have to understand that entering into that baptism is a vow and a covenant of itself, that we are going to make a heartfelt attempt in letting the old man go and beginning to be a new creature. And that's one of those things that we will wrestle and fight with all of our days. It's not a situation where you just you do this one act and it's a done deal. We then try to allow the Spirit to direct us. And all of those things are a part of our spiritual sacrifices. Just as the priesthood was not done away with, which is what you hear a lot of people say. The priesthood was done away with. The priesthood was changed. As well were the sacrifices changed from natural sacrifices to spiritual sacrifices. Let's begin today's sermon in Leviticus chapter 22. And we're going to read verses 1 through 25. Leviticus chapter 22, and we're going to read verses 1 through 25.
Verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto Aaron and to his sons, that they separate themselves from the holy things of the children of Israel, and that they profane not my holy name in those things which they hallow unto me.
So the things that are set to be holy are set apart from all the other things. So you cannot deal with those things in the same manner that you would everything else. And if you do, you have caused some serious issues. And in that day and time, you could get yourself killed. Because you then took the holy things of Yahweh and you made them common and plain. Go ahead.
I am Yahweh. Verse 3. Say unto them, Whosoever he be of all your seed among your generations, that goes unto the holy things, which the children of Israel hallow unto Yah, having his uncleanness upon him, that soul shall be cut off from my presence. I am Yahweh. What man soever of the seed of Aaron is a leper, or has a running issue, he shall not eat of the holy things, until he be clean. And whoso touches anything that is unclean by the dead, or a man whose seed goes from him.
Or a man whose seed goes from him. This is a thing where we are making a separation when it comes down to keeping the Sabbath holy. You have to understand, there are people in congregations, they are taught to make themselves unclean on the very night that we're separating ourselves for holy convocation. They are taught that this is how they bring in the Sabbath. They're taught that it is their duty to do these things. So you have two completely opposing teachings, but those people are so-called keeping the same Sabbath. But one of them is holy, and the other one is just a convocation. Go ahead.
Or whosoever touches any creeping thing, whereby he may be made unclean, or a man of whom he may take uncleanness. Whosoever's uncleanness he has, or whatsoever uncleanness he has, the soul which has touched any such shall be unclean until even, and shall not eat of the holy things, unless he wash his flesh with water. And when the sun is down, he shall be clean.
This is why we begin all of our holy days at sundown. This is why, because this is when you're at your spiritual cleanest that you're ever going to be. That's the beginning of the day. You haven't done anything wrong. The day just changed. So when we have our holy days, they begin right at that point of sundown. This is when we begin. This is when we're going to blow the ram's horn. I'm not going to say shofar, because then people show up with that kadu talking about they got a shofar. No, you don't. No, you don't. Don't blow that in here. Go ahead.
And shall afterward eat of the holy things, because it is his food. That which dieth of itself, or is torn with beasts, he shall not eat to defile himself therewith. I am Yahweh. They shall therefore keep mine ordinance, lest they bear sin for it, and die therefore. If they profane it, I Yahweh do sanctify them. There shall no stranger eat of the holy thing. A sojourner of the priest, or an hired servant, shall not eat of the holy thing.
A sojourner of the priest. See, what we do is, if we have some friends that we invite to our house, we will turn around and let them partake in the holy things of Yahweh. And they don't qualify to partake in the holy things of Yahweh. So just because you're at his house don't mean that you're supposed to get some of that stuff. Go ahead.
But if the priest buy any soul with his money, he shall eat of it. And he that is born in his house, they shall eat of his meat. If the priest's daughter also be married unto a stranger, she may not eat of an offering of the holy things.
Uh-huh.
But if the priest's daughter be a widow or divorced and have no child, and is returned unto her father's house, as in her youth, she shall eat of her father's meat.
Because now her father is her head again. See? But when she out on her own, now she got another head. Go ahead.
But there shall no stranger eat thereof. And if a man eat of the holy thing unwittingly, then he shall put the fifth part thereof unto it, and shall give it unto the priest with the holy thing. And they shall not profane the holy things of the children of Israel, which they offer unto Yah, or suffer them to bear the lawlessness of trespass, when they eat their holy things, for I, Yahweh, do sanctify them.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto Aaron, and to his sons, and unto all the children of Israel, and say unto them, Whatsoever he be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers in Israel, that will offer his oblation for all his vows, and for all his freewill offerings, which they will offer unto Yahweh for a burnt offering, you shall offer at your own will a male without blemish.
You shall offer at your own will. You have decided to deal with this thing. Now, once you have decided to deal with this thing, it needs to be the best that you can offer. Anything less than that is unacceptable. Why even open your mouth that you will do something and then half do it? Go ahead.
Of the beeves, of the sheep, or of the goats. But whatsoever has a blemish, that shall you not offer, for it shall not be acceptable for you.
So Yahweh will not accept it. So if we're supposed to bring something as an offering unto Yahweh, we say, all right, when it comes down to the holy day, we're going to do this. And then when we do it, we decide, you know what? I'm going to take half of this so I can, have something to eat later on tonight. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull some of this off. You shouldn't have done nothing. Because now you done got yourself in worse trouble. You'd been better off had you not opened your mouth and made a vow saying that you were going to do something. It had not been seen if you hadn't opened your mouth and said you were going to do it. Go ahead.
And whosoever offers a sacrifice of peace offerings unto Yahweh to accomplish his vows, or a freewill offering in beeves or sheep, it shall be perfect to be accepted.
It shall be perfect to be accepted. If it's not perfect, leave it where it is. Now, all we can do as far as the flesh to deal with perfection is the best that we can do. If you have done the best that you can do, it's perfect. Can't get no more perfect than your best. But when you start playing around, there's a blemish there. And Yahweh knows what all of our abilities are. Don't fool yourself. Yahweh will not be mocked. Go ahead.
There shall be no blemish therein. Verse 22. Blind or broken or maimed or having a wean or scurvy or scab, you shall not offer these unto Yahweh, nor make an offering by fire of them upon the altar unto Yah. Either a bullock or a lamb that has anything superfluous or lacking in his parts, that may you offer for a freewill offering, but for a vow it shall not be accepted. You shall not offer unto Yah that which is bruised, or crushed, or broken, or cut, neither shall you make any offering thereof in your land. Neither from a stranger's hand shall you offer the bread of your Elohim of any of these, because their corruption is in them, and blemishes be in them. They shall not be accepted for you.
They shall not be accepted. What we have to understand is Yahweh doesn't have to accept something just because we offered it. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 17. Deuteronomy chapter 17, and let's read verses 1 through 13. And understanding that the children of Israel, as it is written, there are many vain talkers, especially among the circumcision. Yahweh already knows and he prepares. So he puts in several places some things. He provides several witnesses for his own word because he knows his people. We will go to one place and find us a loophole. And there's to be a reason why we don't have to do such and such. So Yahweh makes sure that you're going to have to find about 4 or 5 loopholes to get past some of these things. And by the time you create you 4 or 5 loopholes, you standing on the outside of the word looking in. Deuteronomy chapter 17, and let's start at verse 1.
You shall not sacrifice unto Yahweh your Elohim any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish, or any evil favoredness, for that is an abomination unto Yahweh your Elohim.
So now we have, not only is it not accepted when there's something wrong with the offering, now it is an abomination. Now you're on a whole nother level now. You went from not being accepted to now being in the presence of an abomination. Why? Because you took something that was unacceptable and tried to make Yahweh accept it. At that point, it's spiritual deceit. Go ahead.
If there be found among you, within any of your gates which Yahweh your Elohim gives you, man or woman that has wrought wickedness in the sight of Yahweh your Elohim, in transgressing his covenant, and has gone and served other gods, and worshipped them, either the sun or moon or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded.
And you know what? You don't have to search very hard to find Israel worshiping other gods. All you got to do is walk through our houses, and you see stuff from other gods all over the wall. We were supposed to do a conference. It was the baptism conference, and something had changed, and me and Kish were not. It was actually me. I wasn't able to come up here, so I said, "All right, Kish, set up, the thing from your house, and I'll set it up from my house, and we can do the conference from there." And as we're setting up, Kish getting his stuff, I set up my computer, and of course I got my camera on, and this is my little office that I use downstairs, and I realized as I turned my camera on and I looked behind me, it's a picture of Tupac with no shirt on. I said, "Oh man, I forgot that was there." I had to pull old buddy roll down. But that's been my man from way back, you understand? So Tupac had to come down. So then I would have been in the midst of doing this conference and be like, who's the naked guy behind him? He ain't got no shirt on. Because Tupac, he enjoyed not having a shirt on, with a few gold chains, So this was normal stuff. So Gish probably wondering, what's taking him so long? Give me a second. I'm gotta find a place for Pop. Go ahead, man.
Verse 4. And it be told you, and you have heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought in Israel. Then shall you bring forth that man or that woman, which have committed that wicked thing, unto your gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. But at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death.
Mm-hmm.
The hands of the witnesses shall be first upon him to put him to death.
See, Yahweh knew that there are many liars among Israel. So what happens today is why people are able to lie and spread rumors, because they're not being held responsible to execute the judgment. See, they can invite people over their house, tell all kind of lies about any individual they want. But what happened after this is the very witnesses who say that they had done whatever, those had to be the first ones to throw the rock. This is why people do so much lying now, because they don't have to be the first one. Because understand what happens. Verse 7, the hands of the witness shall be first upon him to put him to death. So the first part to draw blood is the one who made the accusation. This is how liars are able to keep lying Because they can invite people, they can tell the lies, but they never have to be seen throwing the rock. See, Yahweh taking care of this right here. No. You made the accusation. You throw the rock first. So first blood comes from you. Then all the rest of the congregation executes them by stoning them. But you first. This is why liars lie so much today. They don't have to throw the rock. They tell the lie and then go hide in another room and watch everybody else deal with the situation. Come on out here. Come on. Come stand in the middle. Say that stuff that you were saying back there. Say that in front of everybody. Because that's what you're doing when you throw the rock in front of everybody. You declaring that in front of everybody. But now we're going to declare it to a few choice friends. And then we can hide from whatever comes from it. Come on, coward. You and your bag of rocks, come to the front. Make the same declaration that you made in the dark. Make it in the light in front of everybody. See, that'll stop that mess. See? We keep letting people pull us to the side and tell us this. No. Let's pull everybody together. Tell us all at one time. That's how you cut out a liar. You keep letting these liars pull you to the side. And they pull each person to the side, one by one, one by one, one by one, telling each one of them a different lie. Now, if all y'all walk up together, all right, tell us again how that went. Because, I was talking to Sharon, and she gave me a different version than the version you told me. Then I was talking to Kish, and he told me what you said was different. Then I talked to Eliel, and he said something. So all us are here. Now give us the story again. Ain't no more of that. Come on. Rehearse it from the top so we can go ahead and pick out the discrepancies in this story because it keeps changing. And truth don't change. My mama told me when I was real little, lies are something you have to remember. Truth, you make a mistake and tell it. Oh my goodness, I ain't mean to say all that. It's them lies you got to remember. Go ahead, bro.
The thing about it is when they're all gathering, where's that one person in the midst to say, whoa, stop. Let's pause. Why don't we get this person over here?
Mm-hmm. That's what the book say. So I'm trying to figure out how each person keep getting pulled aside to get rumors thrown at them, and don't none of them ever say, well, how about we just stop? Let's call them up. Let's see if we can get them over here. We ain't learned enough of the word to know that. So how so many victims fall to one individual, but ain't one person said, stop, let's get them over here. Right. Go ahead, brother.
And afterward, the hands of all the people.
Afterwards, the hands of all the people. So when you got somebody that keep talking, but they are never in the situation when the judgment is handed down, you got a deceiver and an instigator. See, we went to school with them people who always talked up a fight, but was never in a fight. And every time the fight started, you know, where's James? He started this whole melee. You look back, he at the back of the bus. He ain't in that damn fight. But he done started for him. But he doesn't walk away with one bruise. Because he instigates. And then he hides. Go ahead.
So you shall put the evil away from among you. Verse 8. If there arise a matter too hard for you in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within your gates, then shall you arise and get you up into the place which Yahweh your Elohim shall choose.
Stop. The very thing that you just said, even if you couldn't get that one individual, I tell you what, let's go to the place, place where we met. Let's go to that place and let's see if we can handle this situation. At what point does that come into our equation? But we're so ready to hold our own private teachings. We're so ready to do our own thing. You mean we teaching and we don't know the basic principles of what the hell we supposed to be teaching? Go ahead.
And you shall come unto the priests, the Levites, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show you the sentence of judgment.
They will show you the sentence of judgment. So when they say something, they can tell you where they got it from. They won't just say, well, I say such and such and such and such. Well, this is why I say this, and let me read something to you. See, this is where this comes from. This is where I get that thought process from. Now you tell me what you think. Not just a whole bunch of I think, I feel, and I believe. No, let me tell you what he think, what he feel, and then what I believe from what he think and he feel. Because I know what he think and what he feel because he wrote it down. Go ahead.
And you shall do according to the sentence which they of the place which Yahweh shall choose shall show you. And you shall observe to do according to all that they inform you. According to the sentence of the law.
According to the sentence of the law. Not according to what I think, I feel, and what I believe. Go ahead.
According to the sentence of the law which they shall teach you, and according to the judgment which they shall tell you, you shall do.
Now, the part they're telling you is the judgment. The part that they're teaching you is what's written in the book. Go ahead.
You shall not decline from the sentence which they shall show you, to the right hand nor to the left.
And this is why we don't want to go to any authorized individual. That's why we want to talk to our friends. This is why things stay broke in our neighborhood. We won't go to the authorities and tell them, hey, it's a big old pothole on the road to my house, and I done tore up my wheels 4 times. Y'all need to get out here and fix this hole. No, we're going to call somebody else. Hey, man, brother, it's a hole over here. Hey, man, did you call the people? No, I ain't call no people. So who you told? Well, I told you. I told Eliel. I told Mishael. Okay, let me ask you a question. Do any of those people work on the road? Well, no. So you have absolutely a snowball's chance in the lake of fire of getting that fixed in, talking to those individuals. Right. That's us. Go ahead.
And the man that will do presumptuously and will not hearken unto the priest that stands to minister there before Yahweh your Elohim, or unto the judge, even that man shall die.
Right. And today, that death is a spiritual death. They just get cut off from the commonwealth of Israel without a care in the world and have no idea they have been cut off. As it is written, they will separate themselves from you, not knowing that it is a judgment unto them. Go ahead.
And you shall put away the evil from Israel, and all the people shall hear and fear and do no more presumptuously.
That means there has to be an example for Israel to learn, and all the people shall hear and fear. The people hear and fear because what happened to another individual. Now they will do no more presumptuously. That means every now and then Yahweh got to let an example come in. He said, come on into my house. Come on, sit right there. Oh yeah, get to know everybody. Why are you doing that? Because I'm going to make an example out of you in about 1.5 years. Keep on going, go mingle, make sure you know everybody. Because I need to make an example. He said, then they will do no more presumptuously. That shows you, first of all, something about Israel. We don't just hear a lot of times and do right. We have to see an example of what wrong is. Then we say, you know what? I'm not doing that. Well, wait a minute. Didn't we already read that you weren't supposed to do that? Yeah, but until I saw them bust into like a big ball of fire, I was not motivated not to do that. Interesting. That's us. Let's go to Malachi chapter 1. That's us. We're looking for somebody to bust into the ball of fire, and then we will say we probably should not do that. Malachi chapter 1, and we're going to read verses 1 through 14. That's one of the things and one of the reasons why we want to go through all of this legacy so that we understand how the children of Israel lost the land before, so that we don't do the same thing and make the same mistakes over and over again. And hopefully there were some questions on the last Sabbath about keeping the Shabbat at home. Hopefully you guys did tune in to Bible study where we did cover that, what we were dealing with. As we read, it was like in Deuteronomy 12 and I think 14, it say, if the place where Yahweh has chosen to place his name there be too far. That is what gives those, because we have many members that are spread all across this country, out of state, in state, some out of the country. Then that place is too far. That does not apply to the person who lives next door. You can't then say, I have the right to do these things at home. What book you reading? What book are you reading? Malachi chapter 1, and let's start that at verse 1.
The burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, says Yahweh, yet you say, wherein have you loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, says Yahweh, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau.
He hated. See, people will tell you, Yahweh don't hate nobody. God is love. God love everybody. What God you talking about? I don't know that God. Because this God said, I made man in my image, in our image. Man has all of these feelings and emotions. Where we get them from? Yahweh said he feels jealousy. A man proclaims to be so manly. He said, oh, I don't have no jealousy. See, that's a woman's emotion. That's right. All the time, all day. Where you get that from? That's a lie and the truth ain't in it. My God said something different. So you must be one of Lucifer's spawns or something. Because you're not a child of my Elohim. Because my Elohim said something different. Go ahead.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Or as Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
This is how you sit back and watch the wicked. The wicked will talk about you. The wicked who do no works always have something to say about the people who do works. And they have absolutely nothing whatsoever but talking about everybody else's work. And every time they build, it gets thrown down. Watch. They get together for deceit, and before you know it, it splinters off. They may leave with 15 people to do deceit. When you look up, it's 2 of them left. So what happened? I found out they were deceitful. Of course you did. Go ahead.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh has indignation forever.
How long?
Forever.
That's pretty hard situation right there. Go ahead.
And your eyes shall see, and you shall say, Yahweh will be magnified from the border of Israel. A son honors his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is mine honor?
If we honor Yahweh our Elohim, then there's certain things that we're not going to deal with haphazardly. Where is the honor that you say you have for Yahweh? Is it just in coming out of your mouth and saying, all praises to the Most High? Yes. We just going to repeat a bunch of sayings? That's it? Where is his honor? Where is the fear that we should have if we love Yahweh our Elohim? Where's the reverence that we're supposed to have for his sanctuary? Where is that? But it's okay when we're using it for our own personal purposes. Go ahead.
And if I be a master, where is my fear? Says Yahweh of hosts unto you, O priests that despise my name. And you say, wherein have we despised your name? You offer polluted bread upon mine altar. And you say, wherein have we polluted you? In that you say, the table of Yahweh is contemptible.
Said they offer polluted bread and then said, What have we done wrong? We offer blemished offerings. We done parted so much the day before that we can half do the job that we supposed to do for Yahweh and then say, how have I offended? Then you know you had something to do the next day. I mean, we had it on the calendar for 2 months. You knew you had something to do the next day, right? So why you out partying the night before? Then get in here, don't know what you're doing. And then say, you know, it's not your fault. How was it not your fault? Go ahead.
And if you offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil?
Is it not evil? It didn't say, is it wrong? Will it not be accepted? No, is it not evil? Because now you know better. Go ahead.
And if you offer the lame and sick, is it not evil? Offer it now unto your governor. Will he be pleased with you? Or accept your person? Saith Yahweh of hosts. And now, I pray you, beseech Elohim that he will be gracious unto us. This has been by your means. Will he regard your persons, says Yahweh of hosts? Who is there even among you that would shut the doors for naught? Neither do you kindle fire on mine altar for naught. I have no pleasure in you, says Yahweh of hosts. Neither will I accept an offering at your hand.
Right. Once we make ourselves abominable unto Yahweh, everything we offer at that point is blemished until we take care of that business. Go ahead.
For from the rising of the sun even unto the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles. And in every place incense shall be offered unto my name, and a pure offering, for my name shall be great among the heathen, says Yahweh of hosts. But you have profaned it, in that you say, the table of Yahweh is polluted, and the fruit thereof, even his meat, is contemptible. You said also, behold, what a weariness is it! And you have snuffed at it, says Yahweh of hosts, and you brought that which was torn, and the lame, and the sick. Thus you brought an offering. Should I accept this of your hand?
Should I accept it of your hand just because you offered it? Go ahead.
Says Yahweh, but cursed be the deceiver, which has in his flock a male, and voweth and sacrificed unto the Adonai a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, says Yahweh of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen.
Now, cursed be the deceiver, which has in his flock a male, and vows and sacrifice unto Yahweh a corrupt thing. So we said, all right, I do the meal for the next Sabbath. I got 2 whole lambs in here. Now, one of them is bruised and torn. Which one will you bring? This should be a question for those children in there. This shouldn't be a question for grown-ups. Especially somebody who want to walk around and call themselves teachers. I don't understand how we're going to be intelligent and then be stupid at the same time. You can't be both of them. You got to figure out which shirt you're going to wear. There's a shirt that say intelligent and there's one that say stupid. You can't put them together and just be stupid. You're going to have to pick one of those. It ain't going to work. 1 minute, you're so intelligent, you're going to run your own Bible study. Next minute, you so stupid you can't see the plain stuff. Something got to give here. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 26. This is why it says, wait on your ministry. You might want to wait before you start doing that. See, blood on hands don't wash off with soap. Need you to ponder on that for a minute. Deuteronomy chapter 26, and let's read verses 1 through 19.
And it shall be, when you are come in unto the land which Yahweh your Elohim gives you for an inheritance, and possess it, and dwelleth therein, that you shall take of the first of all the fruit of the earth, which you shall bring of your land that Yahweh your Elohim gives you, and shall put it in a basket, and shall go on to the place which Yahweh your Elohim shall choose to place his name there. And you shall go unto the priest that shall be in those days, and say unto him, I profess this day unto Yahweh your Elohim, that I am come unto the country which Yahweh sware unto our fathers for to give us. And the priest shall take the basket out of your hand, and set it down before the altar of Yahweh your Elohim. And you shall speak and say before Yahweh your Elohim, a Syrian ready to perish was my father, and he went down into Egypt, and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation, great, mighty, and populous. And the Egyptians evil entreated us, and afflicted us, and laid upon us hard bondage. And when we cried unto Yahweh Elohim of our fathers, Yahweh heard our voice.
Okay, and the Egyptians evil entreated us and inflicted us, and he laid upon us hard bondage. And when we cried unto Yahweh Elohim of our fathers. See, once that heavy yoke was laid upon Israel, then Israel is crying unto Yahweh with one consent. That means we are now all crying for the same thing. When we all cry for the same thing together in unison, it sounds like a song. Right now, our prayers sound like noise. Because somebody's asking for deliverance and somebody else wants 26s. One person is saying, save me, Yahweh. The other one saying, I need to lift up this truck about 8 more inches so I can fit the wheels up under it. But when that weight get evenly distributed upon us, those prayers start being the same. Yahweh, please come deliver us. Yahweh, please come deliver us. Now, it's starting to sound like a song. Yahweh's in the scene. See, this I can hear. See, that other stuff was noise. See, this sounds like music here. Okay, well, they must really want me then. They calling me like they really want me to show up. Let me send somebody. Go ahead.
Yahweh heard our voice and looked on our affliction and our labor and our oppression. And Yahweh brought us forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand and with an outstretched arm and with great terribleness and with signs and with wonders. And he has brought us into this place and has given us this land, even a land that flows with milk and honey. And now, behold, I have brought the first fruits of the land, which you, Yahweh, has given me. And you shall set it before Yahweh your Elohim and worship before Yahweh your Elohim.
Right. The first fruits, first of all, that which was given unto me was already yours. You gave this unto me, so the first of it then belongs to you. Go ahead.
And you shall rejoice in every good thing which Yahweh your Elohim has given unto you and unto your house, you and the Levite and the stranger that is among you.
We don't even understand how powerful and wonderful this is. All we think about today is in the form of money. Let me tell you something. When you have your own land and you are able to sustain your own self, you ain't going to Walmart to get them Franken foods they got in there. Them potato tomatoes and you know, the crapples, you know what I'm saying? No, we talking about some real fruits and vegetables that came out of your land. Then you offering real first fruit. We don't even understand the value of bringing some money from our check. No, this stuff sustained us. This was real stuff. We can't even recognize a fruit tree when we see it nowadays. We're so used to seeing fruit at the store. We see fruit on the tree and they be confused. Why that fruit on that tree? Where the hell do you think fruit come from, little child? From Walmart? Ah, damn. But what you gonna tell them? That's the only place they ever seen fruit. Only place they ever seen fruit was at Walmart. So if they gave a little child a test, where does fruit come from? Out to on Walmart. That's it. Now you gonna get mad at the child? It's the only place the child ever seen fruit. Go ahead, bro.
Deuteronomy chapter 26 and verse 12. When you have made an end of tithing all the tithes of your increase in the third year.
So you get an opportunity to get all of this stuff together, to get the land right, and then you begin these things. Go ahead.
Which is the year of tithing, and has given it unto the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, that they may eat within your gates and be filled. Then you shall say before Yahweh your Elohim, I have brought away the hallowed things out of mine house.
I have brought away the hallowed things out of my house. Go ahead.
And also have given them unto the Levite, and unto the stranger, to the fatherless, and to the widow.
Now, we're going to do these things. These things are going to happen at Yahweh's house. We want to do them at our own house. Go ahead.
According to all your commandments which you have commanded me. I have not transgressed your commandments, neither have I forgotten them. I have not eaten thereof in my mourning.
I have not eaten thereof in my mourning. I have stacked this stuff up to give unto Yahweh my Elohim as an acceptable offering. And I didn't go over there when I was sad and start pinching on it. You know how we like to just take a little snacky snack.
Oh, those look delicious. Yahweh, I'm just going to take a little morsel. It's delicious.
Go ahead.
Neither have I taken away aught thereof for any unclean use.
Oh, I didn't take away something for my own personal shindig. Yahweh, I can only give you this, because this is going to be for my personal party right here. Oh, I see. Interesting. Go ahead.
Nor given aught thereof for the dead. But I have hearkened unto the voice of Yahweh my Elohim, and have done according to all that you have commanded me. Look down from your holy habitation, from heaven, and bless your people Israel, and the land which you have given us, as you sweareth unto our fathers, a land that flows with milk and honey.
Right. And when we get back to a point of having a land that sustains us, then we ain't got to run to everybody else's market to go and get stuff. That is a power that you don't even understand. We depend on other people to eat. That's why every time they say, oh, it's about to be a storm. Man, you go in Walmart. Already Walmart had 24 lanes, but ain't but 5 of them open. So when you go in there and they say, oh, it's about to be a storm, everybody trying to get water, everybody trying to get toilet paper. Man, the line going out the door. You get ready to go in, and there's a line going in. Why is the line going in? That's how many people standing at the restaurant. But they still got 12 more open. Ain't nobody at them. So then now you got to go into the self-checkout. So now I got to go get my stuff and ring myself up. So I'm the customer and the worker. They should give me a damn discount. You know what I'm saying? I should get a discount. I rung myself up. I had a few of them look at me strange. I said, what's the discount code? They said, what you talking about? I said, employee discount. They said, oh, you work here? I said, obviously I do. You just see me ring myself up, right? So give me the employee discount code again. And they just sat there and looked puzzled. Well, I said, right, I must work here. I rung myself up. I bagged my stuff. I paid for it. And I gave myself change. Clearly, I work. What in the hell is my Walmart badge? I've been looking for my damn badge. I can't find it. I must work here. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 16. This day Yahweh Elohim has commanded you to do these statutes and judgments. You shall therefore keep and do them with all your heart and with all your soul. You have avouched Yahweh this day to be your Elohim, and to walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes, and his commandments, and his judgments, and to hearken unto his voice. And Yahweh has avouched you this day to be his peculiar people.
We don't want to be peculiar. We want to be just like everybody else. That's the problem. We don't want to be peculiar. When I was little, my mama was a seamstress, man. My mama made clothes. My mama could look at something on TV and say, ooh, I like that. She didn't Most people, now when I was real little, she used to go to the fabric center. We used to go, I hated it. Oh, I hated it with a passion. We'd be out like, where we gonna leave? I hate this place. She'd go in there and get patterns. And then, you cut out the pattern, put the fabric along the lines of the pattern. She grew from that level. She saw something, she drew out, she made her own pattern. Said, oh, that come down like this. She drew her own pattern, cut it out, and made her own clothes. I had custom-made clothes from 5th grade on up. But that made me peculiar. I didn't want to be peculiar.
Mother kids had Levi's.
So I cried and cried and cried till I got me some Levi's. And it upset my mama. And she stopped making me some stuff for a while. Then I got a little older and started realizing the value in peculiar things. But I had already upset her by refusing some of the stuff that she had handmade. Because I wanted that store-made stuff. I wanted that stuff everybody else had. They had them Levi's. See? This is how we refuse being peculiar, so that we can fit in with the rest of the heathens. See, that's my problem. I wanted to fit in with the rest of the heathen. Go ahead.
As he has promised you, and that you should keep all his commandments, and to make you high above all nations which he has made, in praise and in name and in honor, and that you may be an holy people unto Yahweh your Elohim, as he has spoken.
All right, let's go to Genesis chapter 4. Genesis chapter 4, and let's read verses 1 through 13.
Verse 1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I've gotten a man from Yahweh. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yah.
Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yahweh. He just brought some stuff. Go ahead.
And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
The firstlings of his flock. So he brought the first fruit according to what he had in his possession. Cain just brought some stuff that he had. Abel brought the first fruit of that which he had. Go ahead.
And of the fat thereof. And Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell.
All right, stop. Here's the problem. Cain is very angry, and his countenance has fallen. But who is he angry with? See, here's our problem. We then assert our anger at the wrong individuals. See, at this point, his offering is not accepted. So instead of being angry at himself or being angry at Yahweh, what he's going to do is to be angry at the person whose gift was accepted. Instead of saying, okay, let me see why mine was unacceptable. And we're going to make ours acceptable by default by killing the one who was accepted, thereby believing that if ours is the only one left. You see where I'm going? Yeah, you ain't got no choice but to accept it then, right? All right then. Go team me. Right. Okay, team you. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Cain, Why are you angry? And why is your countenance fallen? If you does well, shall not you be accepted?
Right. So, if something is wrong with your offering, then fix it. What we want somebody to do is turn down their light or stop or slow down their work so that we can do our own. You make your own damn sacrifices. I ain't cutting out my work or cutting down my light to make you feel comfortable. If my light too bright for you, buy some shades. Read, man.
And if you does not well, sin lies at the door. And unto you shall be his desire, and you shall rule over him.
Uh-huh.
And Cain talked with Abel.
Now see, that admonishment didn't work. See, this was his warning. Hey, you on your way? And this is what you can see on people. You can see them walking and say, hey, man, you don't look too good. What you talking about, bro? You don't look too good, bro. What you talking about? I see you wearing it on you. You entertaining the spirit of a bad situation. I can see it all on you. I don't know what you're talking about. This was his opportunity. This was his opportunity. And there's some people, you can talk to them all you want. They ain't hearing you. They got to go ahead and finish the deed. They've already entertained the evil thought. It has been in their mind. It's twirling around in here, and they ain't going to stop until they complete that evil deed. Then they're going to want to talk to you. Go ahead.
You know, even in that situation, a question was asked him. Why is your countenance falling? He had
Right.
the opportunity to say, okay, well, what happened? Why are you
Now, that means we'd have to tell the truth. See, why are you angry?
Because you didn't accept my offering, but you accepted his. It's Eli's fault. I hate him.
But we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Because that would cause us to have to be honest about what we have going on inside. And we ain't going to do that. It's one thing lying to other people. It's something altogether different when you're lying to yourself. Trying to convince yourself that you don't have a problem. When everybody who witnesses you know that you have a problem. They can look at your walk and say,
Look at that. Which way they going? Left? Let's go right. Because they definitely got an issue.
everybody say you know you got one. So you can keep lying to them and lying to yourself, but everybody know you're lying. Because you're wearing it all over your whole body. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him.
Right. He was already warned that he was entertaining a bad spirit. Now that bad spirit, instead of causing him to step up his own works, he want to kill his brother's works. Can you stop your works? Because it's making mine look bad. Are you serious right now? Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Cain, Where is Abel your brother? And he said, I know not.
Lie.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Another lie.
And he said,
We don't care nothing about who we lie to. See, once you done lied to yourself, lying to Yahweh is the next step. Where's your brother? I don't know. No, you know exactly where you killed him, and you know where he at. Where you left him. See, the question was rhetorical. Yahweh didn't really need the answer to the question. The question was an opportunity to come clean in your dirtiness. Go ahead.
and he said, What have you done?
Right.
Boys,
So you already knew the answer. The question was rhetorical. I'm giving you an opportunity to come clean. Jake don't come clean. We come clean when we stuck at every point. We got to get caught with the knife dripping with blood and a dead body laying at our feet. What happened? Nothing. This is, you got a knife in this blood, and it's a dead person. We still say nothing. So, okay. You see it right there? That's a camera. There's a video. Okay, well, I did it. Right. We got to be caught 10 times over before we make any kind. And understand, that is where repentance lies. And we fight all of that. Which means we fighting against repentance. Go ahead.
The voice of your brother's blood cries unto me from the ground. And now are you cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you tilleth the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto you her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth. And Cain said unto Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
Isn't it amazing those with no mercy always ask for mercy? The punishment is greater than I can bear. Wait a minute. Wasn't you the same one I talked to before this happened? And I tried to explain to you that you were on a bad path. Now you want to talk. You want to talk now? When I tried to talk to you, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? Now, the punishment is more than I can bear. Wait a minute. I was trying to talk to you before this happened. Right. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 5. We must remember what it says in 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 5. You also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Elohim by Yahshua the Mashiach. So his natural sacrifices were not accepted because of the way in which they were done. And then when he had opportunity, he did not fix it. Well, we got spiritual sacrifices. Do we do what we need to do to make sure that those things are acceptable unto Yahweh, our Elohim? Ecclesiastes chapter 5, and let's read verses 1 through 6.
Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
Right. We were warned. I send an angel to lead you into the way. Beware of him. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. So you keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, because you are then opening your mouth, entering into vows, saying, I will perform this and I will perform that. All that Yahweh have said, will we do. Go ahead.
Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim.
Yeah, I do that. See, you wonder why people have so much time to examine other people's works, because they ain't got nothing else to do on their own. That's why they got so much time to examine everybody else's. Go ahead.
For Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth, therefore let your words be few. For a dream comes through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words. When you vow the vow unto Elohim, defer not to pay it.
I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that. When it come down,
I don't remember saying that.
really? That must have been one of them demons inside you talking. So what is your name?
Legion, for we are many.
Right. Well, one of them must have agreed to do this then. Go ahead.
For he has no pleasure in fools. Pay that which you has vowed.
Pay that which you have vowed. You were the one that made the agreement to do this. Whatever this was. Go ahead.
Better is it that you should not vow than that you should vow and not pay.
Right. Better is it that you had not opened your mouth. But once you open your mouth, you are now held to it because you agreed to it. But we say stuff just because, we caught up in the moment. Go ahead.
You want to stop at 5 or continue?
Do number 6.
Suffer not your mouth to cause your flesh to sin.
Your mouth has caused your flesh to sin. It had not been sin had you not agreed to do it. Wasn't sin because it's written in the book. It was sin because you said, I'll do it. And then made no attempt in doing that thing that you agreed to. And we agreed to so much we don't even remember what we said. Go ahead.
Neither say you before the angel that it was an error.
It was an error. You're going to say that to an angel. He don't care nothing about you. That's the last one you want to try to explain an error to. Remember, he said, I sent an angel before you. Don't provoke him. He will not pardon your transgression. Remember that. Then say not to the angel it was an error. Oh, that means he finna kill you. He will not pardon your transgression. Understand, I put him over you. He's got a job to do. So when you go to him and say, oh, it was an error, he said, oh, you want to die. Oh, I got it. That's what you just told him. Yahweh had already warned you. Don't provoke him. Now you provoked him by opening up your mouth, agreeing to something, and then not performing it. The angel's like, I got this business. I ain't no need me even going to Yahweh about this. I know what to do about this. I need to make an example out of this individual so everybody else know. Go ahead.
You know, even in this thing starts out, it says, keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim.
Uh-huh.
And then verse 6 jumps to say that you say it's an error before the angel.
Uh-huh.
Because we read certain parts and stop during the oracles, don't forget the importance of why he says the house of Elohim. We entreat the angel to come in.
Exactly.
And none of us knows when he leaves.
Exactly. So you have said all of those things before the angel of Yahweh that we gonna do this, we gonna do that. But somebody got to remind you about everything that you have agreed to. Don't nobody have to remind us for foolishness. I find that amazing. Nobody has to remind us of foolishness. But anything that we were supposed to do for Yahweh our Elohim, somebody got to remind us of everything that we done said. Go ahead.
Wherefore should Elohim be angry at your voice and destroy the work of your hands?
Destroy the work of your hands. Let's go to Joshua chapter 2.
Start verse 1.
Yep, start at verse 1.
And Yahshua the son of Nun sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, go view the land, even Jericho.
Understand, there will be many jobs that will need to be performed in the kingdom. Here is a job of spies going to another land to examine this land. They are on a reconnaissance mission. They have been chosen for this purpose. Go ahead.
And they went and came into an harlot's house named Rahab and lodged there.
Stop. There's certain of us that wouldn't have been able to do that job. For so many reasons. All right, let's begin at the top. This is a harlot's house. Now, some of us can't go to the harlot house because we're too busy trying to get with the harlot. Okay? That's not the job. First of all, pay attention to the job at hand. All right? Then you got, to this day, you got people, here it is, we are worked rigorously. We got a man's holidays coming up. You got people that will be afraid to go out of their house on a pagan holiday because they said, people gonna think we keeping such and such. See, there's certain Israelites that wouldn't even done this job. And this is about a redemption of the children of Israel. They are at the harlot's house, not to be with the harlot. They are hiding. But there's some that, no. Now, what if they sent these 2 spies? One of the brothers said, all right, we can find out everything we need to know, but we got to hide here at the harlot's house. I ain't going in there. I'm not going in there. Now, what if the brother can't go in there because he got a little small bedtime problem, okay? He gonna want to entertain the harlot. Here's the problem. If that's your limitation, that's your limitation. But please, don't put everybody else's limitations that you have. Don't put those limitations on them. People are always trying to pass out all their weaknesses. You don't see nobody trying to pass out their strength. You know what, brother? I can do this, so you can do it too. No. But anything they can't do, they want to say you can't do it either. You keep your own damn weaknesses. I got to carry around mine. I ain't carrying mine and yours too. So you take your little bedtime problem and you go over there. We got to go in this harlot house Because we got a job to do. Read, man.
And was told the king of Jericho, saying, Behold, there came men in hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country. And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, Bring forth the men that are come to you, which are entered into your house, for they be come to search out all the country.
See, they said, look here, we know men be coming in your house. But these men didn't come to your house for that reason. We know you know which ones we talking about. See, whenever the man come to your house and they didn't ask for the price, we know what they came for. Just deliver us those men. Go ahead.
And the woman took the 2 men and hid them, and said thus, There came men unto me, but I knew not whence they were.
Okay, so she already a harlot, and now she has lied. All right, so we got 2. Yahweh says all whoremongers going to have their part in the lake that burns in fire and brimstone, and all liars. So he doesn't like whoremongers or liars. She has now done both. Read.
And it came to pass about the time of shutting of the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whether the men went, I know not. Pursue after them quickly, for you shall overtake them.
That was lie number 2. Go ahead.
But she had brought them up to the roof of the house, and hid them with the stalks of flax, which she had laid in order upon the roof. And when the men pursued after them the way to Jordan unto the fords, and as soon as they which pursued after them were gone out, they shut the gate. And before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof. And she said unto the men, I know that Yahweh has given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. For we have heard how Yahweh dried up the water of the Red Sea for you, when you came out of Egypt, and what you did unto the 2 kings of the Amorites that were on the other side Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom you utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt, neither did there remain any more courage in any man, because of you. For Yahweh your Elohim, he is Elohim in heaven above, and in earth beneath.
Right. Look at that. The harlot got more faith than so-called baptized Israelites. Check that out. Go ahead.
Now therefore, I pray you, swear unto me by Yahweh, since I have showed you kindness, that you will also show kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token.
Now, let me tell you how things end up going. And sometimes it can be confusion within a situation. I think it was Elijah, Elisha, one of them, when the woman was about to starve. She's got one little bit of oil left. He says, go and make me a cake first. Wait a minute. I'm about to starve. I'm about to make my last meal. I got 2 sticks and some flour and some oil. But you want me to make you a cake first? Yeah. Make me a cake first. Why? Because first fruit has to be given unto Yahweh. Check this out. You're going to be all right. She did it. It took care of her. Now, she has already performed a deed. She has already performed one deed. Now, she asked them. Performance first. Go ahead.
I had a question. How many of the family members that's about to get saved despised her occupation?
Hey. You really have to ask it. They thought, her whole life is ruined. And then they're going to have to listen to her if they're going to be saved. Because they're not going to get saved from their house. They got to go to the whore's house too. They're not getting saved from their house.
Like, I'm a doctor. Well, congratulations, but you're not going to be saved in your little doctor house. Guess whose house you got to go to? Right, mine.
They got to get saved from the whore's house. Go ahead.
And that you will save alive my father and my mother and my brethren and my sisters and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death. And the man answered her, our life for yours, if you utter not this our business.
Now see, Israel wouldn't have been able to do that because we can't hold water in a cup. We can't hold no secret.
People be like, oh, it is a secret. If all we got to do is just not tell. I ain't going to tell nobody else. Come in. Come here, Eli. I'm just going to tell you. Okay. Look. I'm just going to tell you a little something that don't tell nobody. But this is what's going down.
But your friend got a friend. And your friend got a friend. And your friend got a friend that's got a friend that's got another friend. Before you know it, everybody know. Oh, and the story done changed 12 times because don't nobody actually rehearse that right. So now the story has morphed into something that it never was. But part of the agreement, if you utter not this our business, that's part of the covenant. Keep your mouth closed about what we're talking about right here. They had a better chance talking to the harlot about that than talking to Israel. Because we talking before they even turn back around. Go ahead.
And it shall be, when Yahweh has given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with you. Then she let them down by a cord through the window, for her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. And she said unto them, Get you to the mountain, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there 3 days, until the pursuers be returned, and afterward may you go your way.
She gave them all the information they needed to get back to safety. And she put herself in harm's way doing it. We'll save Israel as long as it doesn't require too much of us. Go ahead.
And the men said unto her, We will be blameless of this your oath, which you have made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, you shall bind this line of scarlet thread in the window which you did let us down by. And you shall bring your father and your mother and your brethren and all your father's household home unto you.
Home unto you. Now they got to be willing to go to the harlot's house. They got their own houses, but they're not going to be saved there. We're going to save everything that's in this one house. Now, you get them to this house. Now, here's a problem. Question. What if they said, well, look, we'll come over there one day. But you don't know exactly what day they're going to do this thing, right? So if this thing drag out, these people got to be willing to stay in the harlot's house until destruction comes. Interesting. Now that means, the brothers or the sisters or whoever and they kids, they all at the harlot's house. And they worked hard not to be at a harlot's house. But if they want salvation, because she has entered into a covenant, she has made a vow with these men of Israel. And her protection is in that. Go ahead.
And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of your house into the street, his blood shall be upon his head.
Right. Same thing what happened when you talk about marking over the door with the blood of the lamb. The destroyer was out in the street. If you go out in the street, that's your tail. Mark over your door with the blood of the lamb, and the destroyer will not come into that house. Look, take this scarlet thread, the same one you let us down, hang it out the window. Everything in that house gets to live. Go ahead.
And we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with you in the house, his blood shall be upon our head, if any hand be upon him.
Mm-hmm.
And if you utter this our business, then we will be quit of your oath, which you have made us to swear. And she said, According unto your word, so be it. And she sent them away, and they departed. And she bound the scarlet line in the window. And they went and came unto the mountain, and abode there 3 days, until the pursuers were returned. And the pursuers sought them throughout all the way, but found them not. So the 2 men returned, and descended from the mountain, and passed over, and came to Yahshua the son of Nun, and told him all things that befell them. And they said unto Yahshua, Truly Yahweh has delivered into our hands all the land, for even all the inhabitants of the country do faint because of us.
Right. So now that information has gotten to Joshua because of the things that the woman did. Go ahead, bro.
Now, I was just going to say, at the end of verse 21, with not knowing when they're coming back, you realize she put that scarlet there right away.
Hey.
She did not hesitate.
And look, and then she got to deal with other people saying, "Why you got a big rope hanging out your window?" Are you willing to suffer persecution until the day of salvation? Because that's what she had to do. Because she can't tell them why she's got this hanging there. Mm-hmm. Okay? That thing is saving her whole family. No. I need you to understand the complexity of this. She has to invite her family and trust them. Oh, now y'all know now we got family members. I wouldn't trust them with a can of beans. She's got to know which family members to invite and how much she can tell them. And what she even has to tell them about this thread that's hanging out, this rope that's hanging out. Do they even know what that's about? Because if she give them too much information and they go to talking, because folks a lot of times don't know the difference, but they'll talk in the room with kids. And kids just ut out your business. Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, hey, nothing. I saw Daddy loading his gun the other day. And that was the day that the police came up. You did? Yeah, my daddy said because he's a convicted felon, he should not have a weapon. Shh, Jimmy, shut up. I'm sorry, Dad, I shouldn't have said that. No! Yeah, buddy. See, some of us understand them little babies are tape recorders, all right? And at any time they can just press play. And then we'll press rewind. Let me play that again, officer. So maybe you didn't hear all of it. Oh God. Let's go to Joshua chapter 6. And we're gonna start that at verse 12. Daddy, you did say you were a convicted felon, right? Right.
Verse 12. And Joshua rose up early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of Yahweh. And 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of Yahweh went on continually, and blew with the trumpets. And the armed men went before them. But the rear ward came after the ark of Yahweh, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And the second day they came past the city once, and returned into the camp. So they did 6 days. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose up early about the dawning of the day, and compassed the city after the same manner 7 times.
Now, what if they did this one time, and then the people got, all the Heartless family got a little excited, and then they came. They go, oh man, they'll march around the city. It's about to go down. And then that happened on the 2nd day. Oh man, they're just playing around, man. Let's go back to our house. What? Y'all know how we do? When we think it's serious, then we jump into action. When things look like this probably gonna take a while. Ain't no telling how long they're gonna be marching out there playing their little trumpets. It's just a marching band. That's all they doing. Ain't nobody finna go to war. Who goes to war with a band? They just playing music. So they gonna have drums next week. Right. Go ahead.
Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times. And it came to pass at the 7th time, when the priests blew with the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, shout, for Yahweh has given you the city.
Right. And understand, the ram's horn is how we call Yahweh our Elohim. Go ahead.
And the city shall be accursed, even it and all that there are therein. For Yahweh, to Yahweh only Rahab the harlot shall live. She and all that are with her in the house. because she did the messengers.
Because she hid the
She hid the messengers that we sent.
Because she did this good thing unto Israel, then salvation is given unto us. So then let's consider, if doing a good thing unto Israel even overrides the sins that we have committed, what does doing bad unto Israel do? Read, bro.
Last part. Because she hid the messengers that we sent. Verse 18. And you, in any wise, keep yourselves from the accursed thing.
Keep yourself from the accursed thing. Go ahead.
Lest you make yourselves a curse when you take of the accursed thing, and make the camp of Israel a curse and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto Yah. They shall come into the treasury of Yahweh.
All right. So those things will build up the wealth of the nation. Go ahead.
So the people shouted when the priests blew with the trumpets. And it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox, and sheep, and ass, with the edge of the sword.
Mm-hmm.
But Yahshua had said unto the two men that had spied out the country, go into the harlot's house.
Go back into the harlot's house. Now, you know, Israel, we got some of us that still would have had a problem. I ain't going to no harlot house. Ain't nobody gonna see me up in no harlot house. Right. Go ahead.
Go into the harlot's house, and bring out thence the woman and all that she has, as you swear unto her.
Yeah, remember that covenant you made? Go over there and fulfill it. Go ahead.
What if they hadn't told him the covenant?
Right.
Just between us.
Yeah. We ain't gonna tell nobody we went in no harlot house. All right. Look here. We gonna tell him that we hid in a mulberry bush. Right. Go ahead, bro.
And the young men that were spies went in, and brought out Rahab, and her father, and her mother, and her brethren, and all that she had. And they brought out all her kindred, and left them without the camp of Israel. And they burnt the city with fire, and all that was therein. Only the silver and the gold, and the vessels of brass and of iron, they put into the treasury of the house of Yahweh. And Yahshua saved Rahab the harlot alive, and her father's household, and all that she had.
Right. The father is even being, you got to, say, at this day, he is proud of his daughter. People like to get with their friends, and they be like, how your kids? Oh, they fine. One of my kids is a doctor. One of them is a lawyer. One of them is a woman about town. What? She's a worker. A what? She's a distributor of natural products. All organic. Right. Well, this day, they were definitely proud of her. Okay? You can believe that. Go ahead.
And she dwelleth in Israel even unto this day, because she hid the messengers which Yahshua sent to spy out Jericho.
Right. You protect Israel, Yahweh protect you. You do wrong to Israel, Yahweh gonna take care of that business. And even though you are Israel, you don't get to do wrong to Israel. Right. Go ahead.
And Yahshua adjured them at that time, saying, Cursed be the man before Yahweh that riseth up and buildeth this city Jericho. He shall lay the foundation thereof in his firstborn, and in his youngest son shall he set up the gates of it. So Yahweh was with Yahshua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country.
All right, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 23, because we have to see here. So we're gonna back up 2 books, Deuteronomy chapter 23, and we're gonna read verses 17 through 23, because we have to ask ourselves a question. There's a problem here, because at this point they have just welcomed in a harlot. They went specifically and got this harlot and saved her. And now she is now amongst the children of Israel. But what thus says they not too long ago received the law. So let's go Deuteronomy 23. Let's start that at verse 17.
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Now wait a minute. Now there's no whores of the daughters of Israel, but y'all just went and got a whore. Y'all went into a whore's house. Then went and saved the whore's family and brought her unto the new land. Now, you can imagine the schism that you have between Israel. Hey, man, y'all went out and got this woman. What was her occupation again? You said she distributed natural products. What was the nature of those products? Right. Right. Hey, come on, you know your people. You know your people. Stop acting. You know Israel. Go ahead.
You shall not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of Yahweh.
Wait a minute. Now we starting to get we about to get a problem in there. We got some problems in there now. Go ahead.
Into the house of Yahweh your Elohim for any vow, or even both these are abomination unto Yahweh your Elohim.
Wait a minute. Did y'all just bring an abomination in here? Who is she and what does she do? Half of Israel got a problem because they'd be like, I don't want to live next to her. Because I might ask her some questions. Go ahead, brother.
You shall not lend upon interest to your brother, interest of money, interest of victuals, interest of anything that is lent upon interest. Unto a stranger you may lend upon interest, but unto your brother you shall not lend upon interest, that Yahweh your Elohim may bless you in all that you have set your hand to in the land where you goeth to possess it. When you shall vow a vow unto Yahweh your Elohim, you shall not slack to pay it.
Wait a minute. Did you enter into a vow with this individual? Is this individual partly responsible for us gaining this land? Then you better keep your vow. See, we don't get to say, well, this person is of this nature, so we're not going to keep the vow that we made with them. Read, bro.
For Yahweh Elohim will surely require it of you. Require it of you. And it would be sin in you.
It would be sin in you. Go ahead.
But if you shall forbear to vow, it shall be no sin in you.
In other words, that which has come out of your mouth. Go ahead.
That which is gone out of your lips you shall keep and perform, even a freewill offering, according as you have vowed unto Yahweh your Elohim, which you have promised with your mouth.
All right. Let's go to first I want you to read the note there in the next graphic. You missing that?
Yeah.
Brother, you've been doing this whole thing without the paper?
Hey. You know, even
that brother gifted, ain't he? That brother, all right. Well, I realize now you didn't have the paper because I had two. See? See, when I gave that brother the paper, I said, damn, there's another one right under here. That's it. Damn, that was a magic act. I gave him one, but I still got one. It means I didn't give him his. Go ahead, brother.
Exodus 12:48. And when a stranger shall sojourn with you, and will keep the Passover to Yahweh, that all his males be circumcised, and let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land, for no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof.
So no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. So what happened? A vow, a covenant is sealed in blood. So the blood of that circumcision was that invitation to them to be a part of that. So what happened? Then Yahweh turned around and welcomed Euro-Gentiles into the flock, but then they were not made to keep circumcision. What's going on? Let's go to Romans chapter 6. I mean, I waited to the end of the thing to give to you, to give you the paper.
The sermon must go on.
Man. Keep you on your toes, brother. Romans chapter 6. Let's read verses 1 through 11.
What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound?
And this is what a lot of people say. We are not under the law. We are under grace. They don't understand that not being under the law means not being under the law to animal sacrifice, because Yeshua has already died for our sins. So we have the most perfect sacrifice that can ever be offered. Go ahead.
Elohim forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Know you not that so many of us as were baptized into Yeshua HaMashiach were baptized into his death? Therefore we are buried with him by baptism into death.
Right. So Yeshua shed blood, then we are baptized in the name of he who shed blood. Our covenant is sealed in blood. Our covenant is sealed in blood with the baptism that we enter in. So it overrides, it's higher than the natural circumcision. Because that part was confusion. We had to be circumcised. But then he opened up this and opened up the door unto people who were not circumcised. How is that possible? They got the blood through the baptism. Go ahead.
That like as the anointed one was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life. For if we have been planted together in the likeness of his death, we shall be also in the likeness of his resurrection. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. For he that is dead is freed from sin. Now if we be dead with the Mashiach, we believe that we shall also live with him. Knowing that the anointed one being raised from the dead dies no more, death has no more dominion over him. For in that he died, he died unto sin once, but in that he lives unto Elohim.
And these are things that we are partakers of, being baptized in his holy name. Go ahead.
Likewise reckon you also yourselves to be dead indeed unto sin, but alive unto Elohim through Yeshua HaMashiach, our Adonai.
All right, let's go to Zechariah chapter 7. Zechariah chapter 7, and we're going to read verses 8 through 14.
Zechariah chapter 7 and verse 8. And the word of Yahweh came unto Zechariah, saying, Thus speaketh Yahweh of hosts, saying, Execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassions every man to his brother. And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor. And let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart.
And let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. Go ahead.
But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear.
Right. We don't want to hear what Yahweh has to say. And it's not directly Yahweh who we refuse to listen to. See, Yahweh has servants. And he sends those servants to say certain things. We don't want to hear those things. So we pull away. Go ahead.
Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which Yahweh of hosts has sent in his spirit by the former prophets.
Right. He sent them by the former prophets. You ain't dealing with Yahweh directly. Go ahead.
Therefore came a great anger from Yahweh of hosts. Therefore it is come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear.
Right. Now, they wouldn't hear the servants that Yahweh sent. So he says, as it has come to pass that as he cried, they would not hear. Go ahead.
So they cried, and I would not hear.
Right. We think we can talk to Yahweh anytime we want, and we can deal with him anytime we want. Bottom line, it says, deal with him in an acceptable time, in a time that he can be found. When Yahweh is making a plea to deal with us, and we decide we just gonna pause and deal with our own little natural things. Then when it's time for us to talk, now we want Yahweh and everything to pause to come and deal with us. Absolutely not. Go ahead.
Says Yahweh of hosts, but I scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned, for they laid the pleasant land desolate.
All right, let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to John chapter 9.
Yohanan chapter 9 and verse 1. And as Yahshua passed by, he saw a man which was blinded from his birth. And his disciple asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?
Right. This is us. This us right here.
Oh, yeah, man, they definitely did some sin there. Yeah, baby. Why that baby was born like that? That baby was born like that because his mama was doing something dirty. Or either the daddy did something dirty. One of them dirty.
Right. See, you need stuff like this in a book. Because this stuff tells you the mind and the thought process of Israel. Now, understand something now. These are disciples asking this question. So it's if they asking the question, you got to think about what regular people would be doing it. And it helps them in having to deal with this. Because then now they can deal with other people. Go ahead.
You know, the whole thing you say disciples asking it, what if it came around to the disciples because all the other people been talking?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3, Yahshua answered, neither has this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of Elohim should be made manifest in him.
Uh-huh.
I must work the works of him that sent me, while it is yet day.
While it is day. What we're going to do is put off the work of Yahweh so we can go and take care of our own personal things. See, one thing you find out about Slow-Mo, he built Yahweh's house before he, start working on his. Jake, opposite. Jake will half do Yahweh house and pause. You know what I need to do? A whole new wing on my house. Oh, okay. So you just gonna leave this wall open right there? Yeah, I'll come back. Just put some plastic up. Right. Go ahead.
The night comes when no man can work.
The night comes when no man can work. So you work in an acceptable time where Yahweh can be found. Go ahead.
As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay. And he said unto him, go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sent. He went his way therefore, and washed, and came seeing. The neighbors therefore, and they which before had seen him that he was blind, said, is not this he that sat and begged?
So the man wasn't blind for anything wrong that his mother or his father had done. But everybody knew he was blind. That he didn't go blind. He didn't end up being blind. He was blind. Everybody knows it because at this point, glory must be showed unto the Elohim of Israel. So this thing is well known because Israel is about to question every bit of it. Go ahead.
Some said, this is he. Others said, he is like him. But he said, I am he. Therefore said they unto him, how were then your eyes opened? He answered and said, a man that is called Yahshua made clay and anointed my eyes, and said unto me, Go to the pool of Siloam, and wash. And I went and washed, and I received sight. Then said they unto him, Where is he? He said, I know not. They brought to the Pharisees him that aforetime was blind. And it was the Sabbath day when Yahshua made the clay and opened his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Then again the Pharisees also asked him how he had received this sight. He said unto them, He put clay upon mine eyes, and I washed, and do see.
Now, so the dude is being interrogated for the miracle that was done unto him. So you would think, you know what I'm saying, that he about to get arrested. Tell us again. Yeah, that's how the police do. They keep asking you the same, tell me the story again. Okay, now tell me again. Okay, tell me what happened. Man, how many times you want me to tell you this same story? Go ahead.
Therefore said some of the Pharisees, This man is not of Elohim because he keeps not the Sabbath day.
Now, he didn't keep the Sabbath day because he healed somebody on the Sabbath day. No, you need to heal your folks. See, this your folks up in here now. This your folks. This is how you strain out a gnat and swallow a camel. This is us. We ain't gonna do this because of that. There's some same folks that Israel would have never been redeemed because they would have never went in the harlot's house. Go ahead.
Others said, How can a man that is a sinner do such miracles? And there was a division among them. They say unto the blind man again, What saith you of him? That he has opened your eyes? He said, He is a prophet. But the Yehudis did not believe concerning him that he had been blind and received his sight, until they called the parents of him that had received his sight.
Now they all know him, but now they need to talk to his mama and daddy. Go ahead.
And they asked them, saying, Is this your son, who you say was born blind?
Now it's an accusation. You say he was born blind. What? Go ahead.
How then does he now see?
Now how the mama? But these your folks. Go ahead.
His parents answered them and said, We know that this is our son, and that he was born blind.
Mm-hmm.
But by what means he now sees, we know not, or who has opened his eyes, we know not. He is of age, ask him. He shall speak for himself.
He said, Get us out of this mess. Yeah, he a grown man. He answered his own question. He was blind, not deaf. Go ahead.
And not only in this situation, asking them, whatever they would say would be hearsay.
Right. But see, at this point, they trying to do anything. But see, you need to see this, your people. They'll go anywhere to try and disprove somebody else. This man's work has overshadowed ours, and we gonna make him seem wicked. Right. Now they question the man's parents. Go ahead.
These words spake his parents because they feared the Yehudis.
Right. Because they know, look here, these people, they going to turn on us, baby. They about to turn. Here it is, our baby. He can see. But I'm too scared to be happy. Because they're going to kill us because he can see. Go ahead.
For the Yehudis had agreed already that if any man did confess that he was the Mashiach, he should be put out of the synagogue.
So they like, look, ask him. He the one that got the miracle, not us. Go ahead.
Therefore said his parents, He is of age, ask him.
Uh-huh.
Then again called they the man that was blind, and said unto him, Give Elohim the praise. We know that this man is a sinner.
You see that? Don't give him the credit for the job that was done. You make sure you give Elohim the praise. See, sometimes things don't sound as horrible as they are. See, you do something, and you might think that the people are in agreement and are acknowledging that Yahweh has used you to do a good work. But what you'll hear is, yeah, praise Yah. Yeah, Abba Father, praise him. You don't understand what they're doing. See, what they're saying is, damn you. Praise him. See, you got to learn how to hear each part of slickery. And that's what this is. Don't give him any credit. Just praise Elohim. Go ahead.
He answered and said, whether he be a sinner or no, I know not. One thing I know, that, whereas I was blind, now I see.
Right. You won't tell me what he did. I don't know nothing about that. I couldn't see. But I can see now. And I know it's because what he did. Now run, go tell that. Go ahead.
Then said they to him again, what did he to you? How opened he your eyes?
Now see, this is where it gets interesting. Because sight or not, this is annoying. Go ahead.
He answered them, I have told you already, and you did not hear.
Right, I was blind, but you must be deaf, because I keep saying the same thing. Go ahead.
Wherefore would you hear it again? Will you also be his disciple?
Oh, he done checked them off now. Oh, shook it. Come on, brother.
Then they reviled him and said, you art his disciple, but we are Moshe's disciple.
We are Moshe's disciple, stepping all on the law, claiming to be a disciple of Moshe. Go ahead.
We know that Elohim spake unto Moshe. As for this fellow, we know not from whence he is.
We don't know this man. How he gonna do a miracle if we don't know him? See? And we know everybody. So if we don't know him, he ain't no disciple. Yeah. Go ahead.
The man answered and said unto them, why herein is a marvelous thing, that you know not from whence he is, and yet he has opened mine eyes. Now we know that Elohim hears not sinners, but if any man be a worshiper of Elohim, and does his will, him he hears. Since the world began, was it not heard that any man opened the eyes of one that was born blind? If this man were not of Elohim, he could do nothing. They answered and said unto him, you was altogether born in sins, and dost you teach us? And they cast him out.
You see that? They done asked the man all these questions. Now he starts going, because they done pushed him. They said, you was altogether born in your sin, and you gonna teach us? You need to know this, your folks. See, while we all having our little tribal breakdown parties, know that this your folks. You need to know what they do, because they're going to do the same thing to you. Know that. I don't care how much they smile. I don't care how much they hug you. I don't care how much they say shalom, how they sing it when they say it. How much they appear to be helpful. When the rubber hit the road, they're going to show you what's in their heart. And when somebody show you the manner of who they are, do me a favor, believe them. Go ahead, bro.
You know, they turned around, they said the same thing that the disciples was asking Yahshua. So the question is, was this something that was being spread around? Because they saying it, you were altogether born in sin. They asked the same question, who sinned, his mother or his father? So is this the rumor mill going around town?
Hey, they probably been saying it his whole life. Every time they see him, oh, they go to blind man, his mama and daddy was in sin. They probably been there his whole life. Go ahead.
And they cast him out. Verse 35. Yahshua heard that they had cast him out.
Now, check this out. The man gets healed, can see. And you know what the first thing he see? Ugly Israel. Congratulations. I can see. Oh my goodness, I want to close my eyes. Good God Almighty. Look at this evil they doing. Right. Congratulations. First day of sight, and what you see is ugly from the top down. They want you to condemn the dude who helped you see. Welcome to Israel. Go ahead.
And when he had found him, he said unto him, does you believe on the Son of Elohim? He answered and said, who is he, Adonai, that I might believe on him? And Yahshua said unto him, you have both seen him, and it is he that talks with you. And he said, Adonai, I believe. And he worshipped him. And Yahshua said, for judgment I am come into this world.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Let's not go past that. For judgment I am come into this world. Oh, Yeshua had some business to tend to. See? So people are being drawn out for what they think, feel, and believe, never knowing that they are walking up on judgment against themselves. They think it's all about somebody else. All this that they're doing, they think it's about Yeshua and the blind man. And the situation was presented to prove what was in their heart. Because take this. All of this is happening because Yeshua has healed a man. Take away the healing of Yeshua and what was done to the man. Now you don't get to see what's in the heart of those people. They still get to approach as regular, celebrated, praised Hebrews among the people. They still get to look like elders and mothers and approved individuals. What you need is one situation that will show the hearts of the individuals involved. That's what we got here. Go ahead, bro.
That they which see not might see, and that they which see might be made blind. And some of the Pharisees which were with him heard these words, and said unto him, Are we blind also?
There you go. They realized, oh, he cutting us. Oh, so are we blind? Then you heal the blind man, but you telling me that really the blind man can see, but we the ones who can see, but who can't see. You talking about us? You talking about us? Yeshua. Yeshua. Right. Go ahead, bro.
Yeshua said unto them, If you are blind, you should have no sin. But now you say, We see, therefore your sin remains.
And he even cut him in the answer. You say you see, and that's why your sin remains. Check that out. But you need to know this. You need to know that this your folk. This problem here is coming from the top. These are the people who's supposed to know the most about the word. And they are the ones doing the most persecution for a good deed. We don't get to imagine and set what we think is evil because it does not agree with what we think, feel, and believe. Yahweh's word determines what evil is. None of us. And then we have to ask ourselves, if we don't like something, you must ask yourself, what is that in your heart that causes you to dislike anything that's in his word? That's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.